There when I signed up, I was the 23rd speaker. That meant Blair was the 24th, and there were probably a good 6 people after us. So
Mighty more. I think there was like
well-attended hearing.
over 40, I believe.
I wish I had gotten the memo to prepare remarks ahead. That was
You did
just
a
clear.
good
A lot of
job.
people put time into getting their stuff down to 3 minutes. But it was good. Did any of you attend the comprehensive plan workshop on Monday night?
I did.
How was the nature of that conversation? I only ask because I did look at the survey. I haven't completed it yet, but one of the things was we need this many units of housing. We either do 5 to 7 tall buildings or 100 short buildings. I
Right.
just don't know where people were feeling generally in that audience.
Well, I mean, I talked to a number of people there. I'm actually, after this meeting, have a meeting with HAB around making some adjustments to the inclusionary zoning. And one of the things that that I spoke with a number of people at that uh, comprehensive plan meeting is around the commercial districts in town. And at least the people that I spoke with were very much thinking that there needs to be upzoning along in the commercial areas. And that had also come up last night. As that it's the housing issue is a town-wide issue. And I think that's certainly the way I think about it.
I think one of the topics that Steve brought up, I think, at our workshop is there are very tall buildings in Brookline. People just don't realize it. Someone last night said the tallest building in Brookline is 10 stories. Not true.
Who said that?
One of the guys who did their commentary
Really?
via Zoom, I forget the name. But
Yeah,
no, we need to do, I think, a little bit of support of, look, we have tall buildings. And I think Steve suggested this might be part of what the planning department assembles for the package as the warrant closes, and that is kind of shopped around for a support building. My question regarding the comprehensive plan, that was the one issue where does our town have an issue with height generally? Doesn't matter what it's used for, does height?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
I would actually say that's true, at least for people who go. I said, I think that is true, that there is an issue of height. And I think that what the height is, some of the people I've spoken with have asked, and this would be a little bit more local to this discussion, has been why is it that Somerville, Cambridge, Watertown, all these other towns are doing redevelopment at 4, 5, and sometimes 6 stories. Why do we have to be at this height? And I think that was a question that I thought RKG was supposed to have answered in terms of the study, the initial phases of the study of the commercial area before the city real estate management came in with 20-story and 18 and 16-story buildings. And I think that just kind of knocked everybody, upside the head, where if they had come into the process asking for, well, how much more height, would be reasonable, I think that this would have been settled, at least 6 months ago, if not longer ago. But I think that was a major strategic error to come in. Ask for twice what you want, and then you'll get what you want.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of negotiation is not the way you negotiate with people.
I
Anyway,
should say
enough of
that
this.
for the comp plan meeting, that both Jake and Kara thought it went very, very well. They were very pleased with it. And as you know, you're going to be getting an update next Wednesday morning from Jake Collins, who's been spearheading the comp plan. So we should learn some more about it, and we can ask some questions at that time.
It was very well. It was very well done, I think.
There was a Fisher Hill West meeting at the same time as the open house on Monday night. So, which actually there wasn't really anything new on the agenda for Fisher Hill. So it was kind of unfortunate that we were diverted. But so I'll be looking forward to that update on the comp plan.
Was there, and do you want to give any kind of update on Fisher Hill?
Yeah,
well, there's
there?
we're still in the process of, or the staff is still in the process of putting together an RFP. There was some discussion about the engagement process, series of meetings. One meeting for the town meeting members in precincts 13 and 14, and then a second meeting with neighbors and abutters of precinct 13 and 14 near the site. I think those are in many cases, an overlapping group of people, but that's the way it seems to be going.
Okay.
Linda, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, just quick. Maybe I've sent this to Polly, but I was looking at Zillow yesterday or day before, and 370 Washington Street, that's the lot across from the library, or with the historic house. And it was for sale on Zillow for $3,500,000.
A unit or the whole?
No, the lot. They're advertising it as lot and land for sale.
Really?
Not even the building. I mean, anyway,
What's
it's
the
like
building it's worth less, Linda?
well, whatever. But I mean, we've given at least 3 sessions of our time to this property, actually more, for all the proposals that have come before us. So I was just like gobsmacked.
Unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast with all of this. And just as it was pointed out last night at the hearing, we could change the zoning in Chestnut Hill commercial areas and nothing might get done. You just
Right,
know.
right. But this one, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, anyway, if you know anything, or if you know
Well,
Probably
something,
not
say
able to get the
something.
financing together for it.
Whatever. All right. That's it.
I can look into that for you.
All right. I'd appreciate it. I just, crazy.
I believe most of the people who don't have their screens on are here in support of cases we're hearing, but I'll just ask, are any members of the public interested in making a comment on anything not on our agenda today? Just use the react button at the bottom to raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll go with our first case for the sign review. That's 800 Boylston Street. Cameron, are you?
Yeah,
I'm actually I'll present this one, Cameron.
Okay.
And Attorney Allen is here for this case, and I guess Dennis Greenwood, are you here for this case too? Yes, he's an architect. 800 Boylston Street on Route 9 is an odd-shaped lot. It's like a peninsula. It's surrounded on 3 sides by Boylston and then Reservoir Road on the side and the back. It used to be a gas station, and then Wells floor covering came in and converted the kind of the convenience store or the repair shop into a wood flooring company. And they placed a dumpster on the lot because when they go to people's homes and replace the flooring, they have to have some place to dump the flooring. Because this is on Route 9, it's highly visible. The building commissioner did cite them for this and said that they needed to come before the planning board. So they are here today to propose a fence enclosure on all 4 sides of the dumpster in order to screen it. And at the same time, there's an existing freestanding sign right at the corner. And they are proposing to reface that sign, which will say Wells and then wood flooring services. With that, I'll turn it over to Attorney Allen and Mr. Greenwood.
great. Thanks, Polly. Mr. Chair, members of the board, for the record, Robert Allen, 300 Washington Street in Brookline Village, here representing Wells Floor. I don't know if Sasha's on. I don't see him on here, but Dennis is here. Dennis is the architect. As Polly said, this lot, you remember, it used to be a gas station. Then it sat vacant for a while. Dunkin' Donuts tried to go in there. Neighbors went berserk, and Dunkin' Donuts ran away. And then it was empty for a while. Then it was like a recycling / you could drop donation center for a while. Then it sat vacant for a while. And very difficult site to develop because it really comes to a point quickly. So these guys, young guys, they started a flooring business, and they require a dumpster And there's no place to put a dumpster. The building takes up and then it comes to a point. So they put it as close to the bay doors, the old bay doors, as they could. But Dan drives by it every morning, and Dan called me one time and said, what are they going to do about the dumpster? And we kind of worked out a solution to try to put up a fence there to at least block it. You'd block it. It's got a retaining wall behind, so Reservoir Road doesn't really see it because it comes down. But to block it from Route 9, we get the point. And we certainly don't want to lose the sign. It's probably the last remaining pole sign on Route 9 that used to be for, I think it was a Texaco station. But we'd love to take advantage of it because it's right at the end of the peninsula. You can see it from both ways, and we'd love to get the advertisement. You know, it's one of these, we have very few locations in Brookline where you're like, I just can't get anything to go in this location. And these guys really want to try to give it a go here. And we want to do everything we can to support them. And the signage and keeping the dumpster on site will really help them. So we got Dennis involved. And Dennis, if you want to just walk through what we're proposing here, that'd be helpful.
Okay, sounds great.
Watch out for
Polly
the
or
guy
whoever's-
looking over you there, Dennis.
I know, dangerous. Polly or whoever the host is, do you mind enabling screen sharing?
Yes, Karen
Yeah,
can
you
help.
should be able to screen share.
Thank you.
There we go. Thank you.
And of course, west is to the left.
Yeah, so we're on the inbound side of the street heading into the city. So here you can see the site plan. So again, we're at the corner of Boylston and Reservoir Road. The existing dumpster location is here. It is more or less at the kind of midpoint of their parking area. The reason for that is obviously they didn't want it to be on the corner, right where it would have the most visibility on the approach down Boylston Street. And likewise, they don't want it right in front of their storefront either, because they do have a significant amount of glazing in front of the street. So this was the location that made the most sense for that location. And you'll see the screening piece that we're proposing in just a moment. And at the very corner, you can see this is the post-mounted sign. It's approximately 4 feet tall by 8 feet wide. Again, on that post in kind of a landscaping bed on the corner of Boylston and Reservoir Road. Sorry, let me make this larger. There we go. Okay, so again, you can see this is just some existing photos. Here's the dumpster location. This is looking along Reservoir Road. You can see, as Bobby mentioned, there is a bit of a grade differential and a retaining wall along Reservoir Road. So part of that screening will be cut off as well, but we are proposing a 6-foot screen that goes around that entire dumpster enclosure. Here on the second photo, you can see that existing sign post sign rather. Same with number 3, this is looking from Boylston Street. So right now there is a temporary sign over that box. Obviously what we're going to be proposing is a more permanent sign that actually advertises the business itself. So here's the proposed site plan. Obviously the post sign is remaining in the corner. We're looking at a dumpster enclosure that's about 26 feet wide by a little over 11 feet, 26 feet long by 11 feet wide. It does have 2 gates. It has one accessible from the end to clean it out. And then it has a smaller gate, swing gate on the sides for loading towards the back of the dumpster. And here's the proposed design of the screen. So just a simple kind of slat wall screen that we're looking at, 6 feet tall, cedar posts, a little aluminum cap on those posts, you know, top and bottom rail. Again, pretty simple 6 foot tall fence running around the perimeter of the dumpster. And then here we have the sign. So on the left is the existing condition. On the right, we didn't show the post painted, but that would be painted black as well. And then obviously their logo and graphic here, and that, again, approximately 4 foot by 8 foot existing piece. It is not internally illuminated. The ownership didn't want that. So it's just a simple sign on that existing box. And that's it. I'll keep it to that. It's pretty, pretty small scope. So.
I'll just add, we did work with the dumpster company to find the right location where where they could come in and remove and replace as they empty the dumpsters, and that seemed to work best for the driver.
Is Dennis, how much clearance do they have to each side? I'm just concerned that, just speaking to Bob's point about whether it should be slightly wider so that they're not threading a needle here and they don't wreck the fencing. Does the dumpster company feel like this is plenty of room to get a new dumpster in and out of that?
They seems comfortable with it. I mean, it's at 11.2 now. It could certainly go up to like 12. I wouldn't go any larger than 12. We did give them a few feet on either side to make sure that you could also kind of walk in between the screen and the dumpster itself in case you need it.
You've seen
I
some of
think
those
we're
drivers
okay with that.
before, Blair?
Yeah.
Well, I was mostly concerned about the fact that they're going to have to swing in. It's not parallel with how the whatever the truck is that's coming is going to have to pull forward
Sure.
and then back up. And in order, it looks great when you draw it, everything's parallel, but when it's actually placed in there, it doesn't seem as if, I mean, I don't see any downside if it was 2 feet wider. And that means that, 6 years from now, someone doesn't, when they have the new guy in a hurry, they don't, push that dumpster into the side of fencing. So that would be my only comment.
So can I, around that, can I just sort of ask how often is and the dumpster I assume is swapped out, right? The dumpster gets filled, they bring an empty one, they drop it someplace in the parking lot, they pick up the empty one, they get it out of the way, they drop that somewhere, or they bring in 2 trucks. But how often does that happen? Do you know?
No, it wasn't happening a lot when they first opened, but it's up to like once a week. That they're maybe once every 2 weeks, but business is just picking up for them, Matt. So
Yeah.
listen, the hope is twice a week, right? For them.
Yeah, my concern to maybe to what Blair is again, that fence is not going to last very long because those truck drivers don't really have a lot of ability to maneuver, and
Yeah.
it doesn't take much to knock over a 6-foot tall fence that's point connected at the asphalt. I also don't think it makes sense to do a permanent concrete block one because that's going to also get knocked over and that's harder to repair. And I appreciate Dan Bennett's concern. I just don't know that we're not creating a future eyesore by doing this, but I'm open to the idea, but skeptical that
We could always just put it on one side, on Route 9 side. And I mean, it's just it's what's 680 Boylston behind there. It's an office park. Nobody's ever complained about it. And
Yeah.
the residents are off to the east there, and that might help. I don't know your thoughts on that, Dennis, but if it was just sort of a straight wall just to block it from Route 9.
Well,
I
Or
actually
even-
think that's a
I don't-
good,
I didn't
good
wanna-
idea.
At all, but
Or an L, you could do an L shape, right?
just to follow Blair's point, I think if I see that it's set parallel to that section of the slightly, curving Reservoir Road property line, but I think if it were angled a little bit so that a truck is going to back into it from the corner, it seems like it ought to be aligned with the straight section that is between where the dumpster is now and the corner, because a truck is going to have to kind of slightly angle himself as he backs up to align with the dumpster as it's located now. So I mean, it looks like the dumpster is 6.5 feet wide, and they're talking about the enclosure being 11 plus. Seems like there's reasonable room on either side. It could be made a foot or two wider. I assume you're going to put cones in the parking spaces that are shown where a truck would have to back up when the truck is going to be there, so there aren't cars parked there, or maybe that's where your staff parks.
it might be before they open.
Yeah,
The construction companies typically swap those out at 7 a.m. right when
Yeah.
they can start.
Does the dumpster sit on a concrete slab?
No.
no, I think it's just on the pavement.
Can I ask another? Again, I think that the challenge right now is it looks like they're still under construction because you associate the dumpster with the renovation of the building, which came out well. Would there be an opportunity for them to acquire 2 dumpsters and paint or brand them so that they look more presentable with wells on the side or something, so that it's a piece of their trade dress in their parking lot and not just a generic construction dumpster? And then just have the empty one swapped for the full one. I don't know whether the dumpster company would ever consider that, but just as a thought to long-term viability of this.
I like
But
the idea of it.
this is Dan Bennett who asked that something be done here. Has this
Right.
been shown to Dan? Is he okay with this, big picture wise?
He's okay with it, but he wanted to run it through the planning board. At first, we got into like zoning issues, and then he finally just said, let's just work it through facade review. Whether this was a structure or not, or that whole thing. So, but we got over that, and then he just said he's fine with a fence. He just wanted a fence. Listen, if the planning board said we're fine with the dumpster as is, we'd be thrilled with that, and we would dress it up the best we could. But we don't want to put up a fence. These guys don't want to incur any additional costs more than they had to. They were shocked that they had to go through this whole process, but we're here to listen to you. We're just trying to keep Dan happy. If you tell Dan we'd prefer not to have a fence, Dan wouldn't care.
I
And
appreciate
don't wanna
his,
speak for Dan.
suggestion that we do something to kind of make it look more intentional and permanent. I feel like if we do the fence every 6 months, it's gonna need to be repaired. That's an ongoing cost to the business. And in the interim time between repair, it's not gonna look great.
Right.
I don't know. What other members of the board feel
I think-
differently?
I mean, I think that if you do this, you're gonna have to drag the dumpster out of the enclosure
Right.
in order to pick it up. So you
Yeah.
don't mess the enclosure. So with that dragging and whatnot, typically you put a concrete slab down because you got a skid on the bottom of the dumpster. You got maybe metal wheels. You roll them back and forth over asphalt, and you got a mess. So I think that this is a good start, but I would prefer myself that if you're going to have a permanent place for a dumpster, you have a concrete slab and basically a screen wall, and do it in such a way that the truck could go over and just pick this thing up right where it is, that it doesn't have to be dragged around or dragged out in order for it to be picked up. That's my opinion.
Does Wells have an alternative to having an on-site dumpster, like arranging to, bring their, waste materials someplace else as opposed to having a big dumpster on site?
They don't have that. They don't have that ability. Certainly not yet.
We're gonna go Linda and then Andrea.
Okay, this is sort of like decorating the lot, but I would want, I'm sorry they're in this situation, because I think they really did a wonderful job on their building there, but make it look like it's part of the landscape and intentional, instead of hiding a dumpster, so that maybe you would have there dumpsters that are enclosed off the the lot behind in Coolidge Corner, next to the theater, which I think are metal. Pardon?
Behind CVS.
Yeah. Aren't they metal or something? They're not wood, as I remember. But make it, make a larger enclosure that's maybe just an L, so that the sidewall is parallel to Route 9 and comes out. It's bigger, and then it's parallel to Route 9, and then actually parallel to the building, so that it's, it looks part of the campus. Yeah, something like that, that gives it enough room so when they come in, I don't know if that'll do it, but make it look like part of the landscape instead of an enclosed dumpster, I guess. How that gets shifted around. Maybe it's something that actually is perpendicular to the street, because you're not going to need all that lot, as that I would think, but I don't know.
We'll do Andrea and then Tommy and then Blair. Andrea, you're still on mute.
Thanks. I agree with Steve that the wood won't hold up. I've done a few dumpsters for some grocery stores, and they
That wasn't
have,
me, that was Matt.
oh, Matt, okay. They have, steel frames, a concrete pad because of the weight of the dumpster. And some of them used a chain link fence with a decorative screen or Trex panels, but I'm wondering, in addition to what Linda's suggesting, but to pull it away from Reservoir another foot or so and put a screen of landscaping, bushes or trees to reduce the cost of having a more substantial L-shaped enclosure that shouldn't be wood. That's it.
Thank you, Andrea. Tommy, you're next.
Yeah, I guess my question, kind of following up on Linda's, is like, are we really that wed to the dumpster having to be in that spot? Because I mean, looking at the site, it doesn't necessarily look to me like it's actually the best spot for it, especially if the concern is shielding it from Route 9 and concerns about how a truck's going to maneuver to get a dumpster in and out of any area. To me, it would make more sense to have it up against the north side of the property line on Boylston Street and just shield it just from Boylston Street. I guess that was my only thought. Just how wet are we to that location?
Yeah,
think it was the
I'll be honest,
easy-
I'm still not sure. And maybe Dennis, you can take us through the direction of traffic on Boylston Street. Can they go from westbound across the median, or that's where it's a divided highway where they?
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure, how does the
right.
truck get in?
And yeah, this is the main intersection. They would come in this way.
So
They
they're,
would come in, they would be inbound and come in this way.
so the truck has to do a 3-point turn in order to back into the enclosure based on the orientation of the swing doors that you have right now, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then they'd have to kind of, pull another U-turn out to get back out. That layout doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll also say, Andrea had an interesting idea, hadn't thought about that. What if instead of a fence, we just do a hedgerow of arborvitae, or like just screen it with something that isn't constructed but natural and might.
That would
do the
also
job?
help, reduce some of the pavement and dress up the parking lot.
Yeah.
So I agree
Blair.
with the comment that it seems to me it should be further to sheet right. And I think that the idea of having some plantings, or whether it's arborvitae or some other type of shrubbery, I think that's fine. I mean, I appreciate the people from going up Reservoir Road one way or the other aren't going to particularly see it. I just think that practicality should rule here, Dennis. That look carefully at how the trucks are going to maneuver, so that they can do it simply. It's a giant parking space for probably there's very few cars that are actually parking here, at least from my experience going by. So I think let's make it work. Let's make it a little bit better, and let's support this business.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that given how trucks would come in heading east, they would come in, they would pull towards the building and then back up. It
Back
seems
up
to
to the
me
side.
the gate ought to be on the other end, on the east end of the dumpster. I like I like the idea of doing something where there is a screen, whether it's a single-sided fence or a fence plus some landscaping with sufficient room that a truck is not going to knock it over. But there's plenty of room in this parking lot with just a few parking spaces that are used at any one time to make this functional, as well as minimize the visual downside from Route 9. And Reservoir Road doesn't seem to be as important an issue.
Okay, well, we can, so the location was picked up by the dumpster company, right? So we talked to the guys who are actually doing this every day, and I appreciate everybody has a better way of doing things, but these are the guys that do it every day. So this is where we moved, we had it close to the building, they moved it up there. So we assumed that they would know best. But if we could certainly look at sort of what Linda was suggesting, the L shape, I'm not sure we want to get into, maybe we could do some like pots or something like that as far as landscaping. Because, it's all pavement now. I'm not sure these guys can incur the cost of creating some kind of bed there, but we can certainly look at an L-shaped, and if you're fine letting Paulie approve it, so we don't have to come back for this.
That's
It
what I
doesn't
was
seem
gonna
like, it seems like
suggest.
everybody's okay with the sign.
Yeah,
But
mine's
your
great.
call.
I think you could do a little trimming of that, looks like a spruce tree.
Yeah,
but,
we've got that. We didn't say that, Blair, but yeah, it needs some pruning. We got to clean up. It's all high grass there. The landlord never really did much to the property, as you guys know.
So
Okay.
I think that giving flexibility to, and have Polly approve the final plans, I mean, no one's objecting to this as I
Yeah,
hear
I
it.
get it.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I'm assuming the truck company also goes in the wrong way at 6:30 in the morning. They probably just turn in the out way in order to get the truck facing the right direction, because it doesn't matter at that point. No one's in the parking lot, so.
I think they go all the way down and loop in, and then they probably shoot straight across there and
Yeah,
go
yeah.
through the intersection by the fire station there.
Yeah.
Linda, did you put your hand back up, or are you
No, I'm
still?
sorry.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so it sounds like we're supportive of an opportunity to screen it.
Yep.
Less concerned with where and how. We can leave that to Polly to review a final version. So we have options to do a single surface, an L shape, something instead of wood fence if you're so inclined.
Yeah,
I
we
think
definitely
with the
will.
wood fence, we just want a commitment to maintain it, on an annual basis or something, right? So
I
that,
like what Andrew was saying, maybe screened in chain link or something.
Well,
Yeah.
I would, if it's a chain link fence, I would not approve a plain chain link fence. Maybe a chain
no.
link fence that's got a
Plain
woven.
chain link.
with the slats.
Yeah,
The inserts.
yeah.
We're not gonna go
There's,
from a cedar fence to a chain link fence, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, they own a flooring company and
That's
have
right.
access to plenty of
Yeah.
lumber, right? So that was kind of the reason that they can build and maintain a nice wood fence. That was kind of the logic there. Certainly not we certainly don't want to
Yeah, I
downgrade to a
would
chain
certainly
link fence.
prefer wood to chain link, even with a
Yeah.
woven fill.
They would prefer wood too. They have extra.
yeah,
All right.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
So do we have a vote to approve the sign?
public-
And let me just look at the
public
conditions.
comment, Matt.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Are there members of the public here? Anyone from the public wish to make a comment, please use the react button at the bottom and raise your hand, and we'll unmute you and allow you to share. Seeing none, let me just go to okay, so I think the conditions work here. So I'll make the motion to approve.
I might add the maintenance idea as well.
Okay, help me wordsmith that in after I go through this then. Planning board recommends approval of the plans by Sousa Design Architects, subject to the following conditions. Condition 1, prior to the issuance of a building permit, the applicant shall submit final enclosure, sign plans, and/or landscaping plan of the area around the freestanding sign and dumpster, subject to review and approval of the Director for Regulatory Planning. And condition 2, a commitment to maintain the proposed enclosure in good condition on at least an annual basis,
Or maybe the enclosure and/or landscaping.
and/or landscaping as so amended. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Blair. Let's round the roll call. So Blair, how do you vote?
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Linda,
Aye.
Andrea,
I,
Mark,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye.
and
I also vote aye.
Tommy.
Oh, sorry, Tommy. Where'd you go? There you are.
Forget about Tommy.
Sorry. I've lost track of all the windows.
New guy.
I did
All
it
right.
last week.
All right. Thank you all. Appreciate the time this morning.
Thank you.
All right. The next one is 1024 Com Ave. Who's going to run point on that one?
So I'll be presenting Com Ave. So the 1024 Com Ave it was formerly Mission on the west side of a building that had 3 buildings. So it's the third one on the left side. The applicant is proposing to install a backlit orange Popeye sign over the front entrance. Below the sign, they're proposing to install a 2-inch thick teal band matching the length of the building's cornice. And the applicant is also proposing to install a vertical blade sign connected to the wall. That vertical blade sign would feature the Popeye's name and the logo on the top. I will pass it over to the applicant if they're there for questions. I believe it's the Boston 5-Star Contractors.
Hello, good morning, all. My name is Vinny. I work with Boston 5-Star. I'm the super at this project.
Hi, Benny, welcome.
Hello. So I have this sign. We have the new revision. Was made February 3rd. We sent it over, and we're just waiting for evaluation on the sign. So the sign coming from the wall, I don't know how to share my screen, so I'm not sure how to do that. I'm just looking at it on my phone, the plans. So the sign coming off the wall out to the street will only be 9 inches. So
Cameron, sorry, 1 second, Benny. Cameron, can you share or give me permission to share? I can put it
Yeah,
up.
here, I can share it. I can share the ones that, give me a second. There you go. I'm talking about the blade sign here.
All right, Benny, just so you know, so we can follow along with what you're describing.
perfect. So as you can see, the blade sign, it only will come out 9 inches from the wall. And now I'm just waiting for the evaluation.
You
So
said
the
there were some
total
other-
size of the sign is 6 inches by, no, can't see that. It's like
It is
6 inches by 30 inches?
30, yep.
James, this is the last version?
Yes, this is the most recent version you sent me.
Okay, thank you.
It is I'm sorry, this is 2 feet, 8.5 inches. I'm with the franchisee. My
Okay.
name is Marla Minaya.
And where is this going on the building? Is there an elevation that locates it on the building?
It should be on page before, yeah. There it is.
Here.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And how high is that off the ground? It looks like it's about 8 feet, is that right? Or higher?
That's a 6'8" door at minimum. That's significantly higher.
Yeah.
But it's avoiding, what is this building? 1024? I gotta go look this up on
Well, I'm
street
wondering
view.
if it's too high. Shouldn't it be more or less centered between the a teal colored band and the door? Wouldn't that look more coherent?
I think the issue is the facade of the building. There's like a rounded kind of pillar right there. Actually, it looks like they're putting the sign on that, or are they
Yeah.
removing that?
This doesn't look anything like, I'm looking at the elevation in Google. The scale of the windows is off. It's not drawn to scale. If this is replacing the mission location. So it's not quite drawn accurately. That,
They are changing the storefront and,
but you can't, but so they're getting rid of the stone?
the recessed, entry and storefront is gonna be removed. I'm not sure that.
But I'm looking at the proportions and it's about a third. You can see it next door.
Yeah, something's
Something's off.
They're removing a stone base in order to relocate the door.
No, nothing is being removed. Everything is staying the same.
Okay.
That's not what's shown here.
Cameron, can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Can you give permission?
Give me 2 seconds.
Thank you.
You're all set.
Thank you. Just to make sure we're looking at the right building.
Yep.
So it's this mission space, yes?
Correct.
Yep, correct.
So your drawing shows the new door here, which
There is
means you're
no-
removing the stone base in order to put the door there, and
The
you're
door should be
showing a
right side.
demolishing door here.
No, this is staying the same exact way. The door is staying where it is. The glass is staying the same thing. The only thing that's changing is the color. Obviously, it's gonna be white. The sign and the teal, that's gonna be right under the sign where it says mission. And then on the side, it's kind of hard.
So your blade sign is going above this blade sign on the adjacent tenant, right? So it's up here someplace and it's mounting. How is it bridging this decorative element on the stone storefront?
Vinny, can you show, are you at site Are you able to show?
Yeah, I am on site. Yeah.
Can you just go and show how it looks so that we could kind of, they
Yeah,
could kind of see
yeah, no
what
problem.
blade
One
would.
second. Let me walk to the front of the store.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, the elevation that's shown on the drawings is completely wrong. So,
Of the storefront, but of the
Yeah.
signs, it looks like they're okay.
Well, yeah, I don't like the idea of adding that teal band, which is not consistent with the other facades and covers up the stone. So if there's a way to fit that within the sign band itself.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I do like Popeyes though.
Ooh.
Yeah, they've got a good chicken sandwich. I was excited to see one going in.
Spicy chicken.
I've been to a Popeyes all the way down in Roslindale or Hyde Park. But, yeah.
Oh,
There may be a
south.
closer one, but
South.
I just drove by one. Oh, Popeyes. Let me go in there.
Mississippi or something.
Okay. How do I turn
Can you just please point
back
where the
camera?
sign would be?
There you go.
Okay, so this is how it looks. Now, the Popeyes obviously will be on top of that little ledge. And the teal band is meant to be right below that ledge. And then can you move the camera to where the blade sign would go, please?
Looks like it's part of this.
Blade sign would go, it's supposed to meet, and you see that how to, like, I don't know if you see, I'm not sharing the screen, but it's basically a little bit above where the other blade sign for the.
I think the point we're asking, since you have a half circular kind of plaster on that, are you basically going to drill into that half circular to mount your blade sign centered on that architectural decorative detail? Is that the proposal?
Correct.
Okay, I think that's what's been asked. And then the teal band goes above that, what you call it?
The cornice.
Cornice, thank you.
Mhm.
The teal band you said goes, it's in front of the cornice,
Yes.
right? It's below, you said below the ledge.
Well, yeah, right above the black, you know.
I see, right there.
You know, there's another blade sign just to the right, that existing blade sign. Why not put your blade sign on the left side of the facade? There's a blade sign one bay over from you under, I guess, what's.
So put it on that side as opposed to this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
right?
so they're not two blade signs blocking views of one another.
And put it on a
And-
metal frame.
Yep.
Yeah, so both Hen and Faux Viet have their blade sign at just below the bottom of the half circular decorative element and
Okay.
right above the panel, the recessed panel. I would suggest that we try to figure out a way that you can do your mounting
There.
there. So
There.
you're not
Okay.
drilling into the original architectural details.
Mhm.
But your blade sign is a completely different shape, so I'm not sure how you
I
mount
have to
something
make
that's 2
sure
feet,
that the bottom of
8
the
inches
blade sign
tall.
is at least 8 feet off the ground.
Wasn't it originally round, Cameron?
Yeah, I've seen Popeyes round signs before.
But
Early.
it protruded more than the 2 inches, or than the allowed.
These, well, you mean the 12 inches?
Yeah, the 12 inches. So
Yeah, it turns out that the 12 inches has been interpreted by the building commissioner as being for vertical material banner signs. And so it could be greater than, you can see that the other signs are probably 12 inches
Or more.
more than 12.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Okay, so because we would prefer to have the round Popeye, it is illuminated. You're not supposed to have it illuminated,
Right,
correct?
cannot be illuminated.
Not be illuminated. And I think that's one of the issues, because I believe the round sign that they do offer is illuminated. So that's why we went with this sign, the non-illuminated version that they have.
But you should be able to get an illuminated sign and simply not connect the electrical. It'll still work as a sign. It's just at night, it's not lit from inside. So if they offer that as a standard franchisee option to purchase one, that's the right size, that shouldn't be a challenge.
I will find out if they do have that option on non-illuminated, or if we're able to purchase it. And, you know, it's more of a Popeyes corporate approval thing, and see if they're okay with it. But if they don't approve it, are you guys okay with the sign that's being proposed? The blade sign? Or would you prefer the round one?
I think it's crazy to put up a sign that's 6 inches tall or 6 inches wide. It's not doing anything at that scale. I think you'd be much better off trying to figure out how to get something larger. From the town perspective, I would advocate for consistency in the signage on a building. So all of the tenants on this building have a similar scale and type of sign. So from a town perspective, that would actually be preferred, that consistency. And so if you start with how big that circle is and where it's positioned, what you put in it, whether it's just the P or the word Popeyes or they have something else, it will be bigger than what you are proposing at 6 inches wide. So I just think it'll do you more good at the scale of the existing signs and matching that.
So I could tell you, and I don't know if I'm allowed to share my screen, but I could show you the sign, the round sign that they actually proposed.
Sure.
Yep, I think if Vinny stops sharing, you should be able to share. Cameron makes you a co-host.
Okay.
Aqui tá aberto?
You see it?
Yep.
So this is the round sign that they propose. Obviously, it's illuminated. I would find out if we could get it non-illuminated or just get that and not connected, like you mentioned.
So do they have a version that has a single post rather than 2 posts to connect it to the wall? Because the space of the other ones, it's just connecting above the recessed panel and below the half circular decorative element on a single post. Minimizes damage to the building.
Give me 1 second. Let me pull all the sign renderings and see if that's an option.
I'm assuming these are fabricated to order and they're not sitting on a shelf, which is
Yeah,
typical.
yeah, it makes it.
Yeah, the fabricator could simply eliminate 1 post and they may need to increase the size of the plate as a result for the additional moment, the forces, but it should be possible to keep the original carcass and just change the mounting.
Carcass.
You're thinking chicken there.
The chicken carcass.
Yeah,
That's what it's like uncooked.
Yeah.
I don't know if you view it, but this is.
Yep.
I'm just trying to see. They have different layouts. That's the building layout. Okay, so this may show.
So meanwhile, do we want to, it looks like this is we're not gonna get a final plan right now, but so we're happy with the round sign?
So I
It's
mean,
not-
it can attach at one point.
And we're happy with the teal band?
No.
Yeah, let's talk about
Let's
this.
talk about the teal bands. The teal band is also unprecedented on this building. No one has mounted anything below the cornice. Is there a possibility to put that above the cornice?
Let's see, because I don't want to say there is a possibility because I got to look at the size of the Popeyes channel letters and see if we're able to actually fit it right under the letters. That is something we have to confirm. I don't want to go ahead and say that we can. Give me one-
Those letters in the drawings you've provided, I'm gonna zoom in here, I need my glasses, are 18 inches tall, 1'6". So again, these are custom fabricated, I'm guessing, per job. So if you
Yes.
needed to make them 1'4" in order to create space for the teal band, that should be physically possible from a fabrication standpoint. The
Okay,
teal
so
band is 6,
mhm.
8 inches, sorry, an 8-inch teal band.
So you guys would be okay with having the teal band on, as long as it's right, above that cornice, correct? I'm just trying to understand this.
It's part of the sign band, right? Isn't that
Yes.
what,
Well,
Isn't that the
it's not
aim?
a signed band. These are individually mounted letters on
oh,
a
I see.
raceway. But yeah, if that teal band could go above the cornice, but you'd have to reduce the size of the Popeyes or just don't have the teal band.
Got it.
And you said the storefront is white?
Yes, is to be painted white.
Oh, wait, what?
Wait,
No, 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 no.
Oh.
yeah, not even
Um,
another Verizon store.
yeah, that's not a
I
great
don't not, okay.
idea.
Glad you mentioned that.
Good eyes, I missed
No,
that.
it says new black aluminum storefront system on the drawing I'm looking at on the front elevation.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that need to be changed on the plans.
Or
and so-
not, yeah.
Yeah, I think for just to make sure we're all on the same page and no one's spending money unnecessarily, I think you should revise the drawings with our conversation. So a single point mount for a round blade sign of similar scale to what is existing on the other tenants in this building. Getting the 3-dimensional letters and teal band to fit above that cornice, but not any taller than, you know, the background panels of the adjacent, right? That gives you a height to work within.
Okay.
And
If
then
you
don't paint the building.
If you don't mind, I'm just gonna share the architecturals, because I think that the sign, the ones that you're looking at are from the sign company. And they don't really, I don't think they pay much attention to, am I sharing that?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Whoops.
I just stopped it.
Who knew that these things could be so complicated?
I've always wondered that myself.
All right, so I don't know if, I'm trying to make it bigger. All right, so that's the back, this is the front. So I don't know that you're able to see it.
Yep, we can see it.
We can see it.
Number 18 right here is
Yep.
where they have that teal band. See, this is where
Yep.
I'm,
Right.
number 9 is the teal band, right?
Yep. So I would suggest, so typically on an architectural elevation, they show the mounting heights of the signs, and then on the sign drawings, they show the physical size, top, bottom, depth. So between the two, they would be coordinated. So at some point, whoever your architect is, have them look at getting that teal band above the cornice and then scaling the Popeye letters down so that they fit in the space remaining if you want to keep that teal band at 8 inches. And then update the sign drawings accordingly, because those Popeye letters will be a different size and you'll need to just
Yeah, that would be
incorporate that.
pretty small. Now, let me ask you this, if we were to want to keep the same Popeyes letters, you would be okay with us removing the teal band, or do you want the teal band?
Yes.
there?
Yeah, you can remove the tail band, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, because I think if anything, we'll probably go that route as opposed to having smaller Popeyes letters. But I will confirm, besides those things, and then obviously moving this blade sign to the left-hand side as opposed to having it where it is, and having the round one.
And the same height, right? It should connect to the building at the same location as the other signs, which is a little bit lower than you're showing on this.
Just
Yes,
below
yes.
that architectural, yeah, just.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Below
Yeah,
that,
correct.
yeah.
And a suggestion on the teal, if the teal band is important, you could think about doing it as a film on the glass and not a sign
Got it.
across the top band of the glass, and you'd still have that brand color. But be
Okay.
below the metal, below the black metal, like actually opaque film on the glass. I think that would probably be okay.
Got it. Okay. We will work on getting that. My only concern is we're trying to open this by the 23rd of March, and production for signs takes about 2 to 3 weeks. If we are to incorporate this, do we still have to wait for the next meeting, or are you guys able to vote on this as long as we make the changes that were discussed?
So my suggestion would be, as long as you're okay updating the drawings, we can have Polly review the updated drawings in light of the comments made today to make sure you've removed the teal band or changed it to be film, and that you've relocated and changed the mounting of the blade sign, and that you're not painting I mean,
I understand what the board wants, so.
yeah. So unless members of the board feel differently, I think we can make a motion to approve as discussed, with Polly making the final confirmation that all those changes were incorporated.
Okay,
I agree.
Makes sense to me.
That'll keep you on schedule.
perfect. Thank you. Appreciate that. We're
All
working
right, so
on
let's
that.
go to. All right, so I'll make a motion. Planning board approves the sign plans by Allen Industries, subject to the following conditions. Prior to the issuance of the building permit, the applicant shall submit final plans for the facade and blade sign indicating all dimensions, letter heights, context of sign on wall panel, and materials subject to review and approval of the Director for Regulatory Planning, incorporating the comments of the February 11th Planning Board discussion. Number 2, the vertical blade sign, or the blade sign, shall not be lit. Remove the word vertical. And 3, lighting on the facade sign shall be controlled by a rheostat and limited to operating hours. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mark. Roll call vote. Mark?
Aye.
Tommy?
Aye.
Linda?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
Blair?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. All right, hopefully we've set you up for an on-time opening, and I'm looking forward to the chicken.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good
Yeah.
luck. Also interesting is this is yet another cannabis shop that didn't make it.
Right.
This industry that's,
Changing industry.
coming over. Yeah.
Now, the
Everybody
next
got
three.
high, and now they realize the downside of being high all the time. You're always late for work.
Well, there was no chicken joint.
That's
Gosh, that's
Very
bad.
good time.
The
all right.
next 3 signs are Brookline Bank signs, and as of last Friday, they've switched over now to being Beacon Bank. And what they did was they merged Berkshire Bank and Brookline Bank. And after over 50 years, they are no longer Brookline Bank. So Cameron is going to present these 3 cases to you.
So there's 3, yeah.
We're going to take them as a group.
I think you can if you want. I mean, he could present all 3 designs, and then you could.
Let's do them one at a time and just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So the first one is 1220 Boylston Street. This application is looking to change the 3 Brookline Bank signs, facade signs with similarly sized Beacon Bank signs that include the logo. Each of the new signs would be internally illuminated, and they would be the same dimensions of the Beacon Bank ones across. They'll be mounted on new 1-inch thick silver colored panels. They're the same colored panels currently exist. They're just getting rid of the old ones and replacing them with new ones because the old ones looked worn. And the illumination would only be on the lettering and logo, not on the back panels. I'm not sure if the applicant is here.
That's surprising.
Yeah, really.
Well, I only got 3 cases before us. I mean, why bother? I mean, can we object to
Well, I
changing?
mean,
Okay.
it could be our error too. I
Mm.
mean, perhaps we didn't notify they're working with 2 sign people, one that does the facade sign, one does the awnings, but I don't know. We had a little bit of a problem last time, having to remind them that they had to come. So I don't think it's their fault, probably.
Are there any awnings in the current proposals? I don't recall seeing them.
No awnings in this in the 1220 Boylston.
Can I be excused if we've got 4? I know Andrea has to leave, but can I be excused?
Yes.
I don't
I-
have,
You're right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
mine-
I think we have a quorum. I'm not
Even if you
feeling
were
very-
both had to drop, we're good.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not
my,
feeling-
my meeting
not
got
feeling-
canceled.
Yeah, I'm not feeling well. All right.
Right,
Thank you.
Linda.
Yeah.
All right,
Feel better.
take care. Bye.
And my meeting got canceled, so.
I mean, generally, looking at the sign drawings, it's a simple swap. I'm glad they're replacing the full panels because the holes left behind from removing the sign would make those really obvious. So they're replacing the Alucobond panels, they're replacing the signs, they're LED internally illuminated. They're not pin mounted, they're actually flat mounted against the face of the metal panel, but face lit. And it's all pretty standard stuff, and it's not a bad logo. Not that we have say on the logo, but
Yeah.
They already have the sign up in Putterham Circle.
yep. Anyone have concerns with the 1220 version?
No.
Nope.
I was just, well, they're not here, but their logo has 2 colors, but then on the signs, it's all white. Oh, I think because of the blue background. Okay. I kind of prefer it with the colors.
Actually, is it one of those that's blue during the day and white when the light comes on at night? Is that why it's a perforated Pantone?
Isn't there one in Coolidge Corner? But
Yeah,
do
I think that one was reviewed.
Right in
few
the
weeks ago.
SS Pierce building, is that?
Yeah.
yeah,
we already-
is that
I think
in
we
here?
had that one a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay, I missed that. So we already reviewed this partially.
I think this is the 3rd Beacon Bank look, or maybe 4th Beacon Bank location, this one that you guys have, that's come
Aren't
before
there-
you.
There's 2 boiled, okay. Yeah,
So I think after today, it'll be like 7 of them have come
I see.
already.
Okay, I see.
Maybe we
Alright,
could
if you're
change
okay,
the
why
name
don't we
of the
just-
town so that it would still be like consistent with the name of the bank.
All right, for this one, if we're gonna take them one at a time, we'll go through the steps. So I'll make the motion and then we'll vote. So planning board approves the sign plans by Stratus, subject to the following conditions. There are 2. Condition 1, prior to the issuance of building permit, the applicant shall submit final plans for the facade design indicating all dimension, letter heights, context of signs on wall panel and materials subject to the review and approval of the Director for Regulatory Planning. And condition 2, lighting shall be controlled by a rheostat and limited to operating hours. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Andrea. Roll call vote. Andrea?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Blair?
Aye.
And chair votes aye.
Also, I.
Oh, sorry, Connie. I
Okay.
literally, I have one window. I keep moving it and I cover like, sorry, the bottom of my screen. Apologies. And you're wearing orange. It should be easy to find you. 12:20.
That was
All right.
Andrea, you could confuse them.
Yeah. Next one is 2 Harvard Street.
Yeah, this is 2 Harvard Street, right in the middle of Brookline Village. It is replacing the 2 Brookline Bank facade signs, which are on either side of that building, with similarly sized and internally illuminated Beacon Bank signs, which both include the logo. They would also be replacing the back panels with new gray colored panels to mount the new signs on.
The only concern I have about this one, one of the facade drawings, there's a really spectacular mosaic mirror installation on the long wall facing Harvard Street that doesn't show up on the drawing of that facade, and I don't know what its fate is with this, if any, change in this transition. I don't know who put that there. It doesn't show up on the Google Street Views either, but it's certainly there.
I think that was part of, an art project throughout the town, and I haven't heard that that's going to come down.
Okay.
Yeah, my guess is they used an older Google Street View as the background for their Photoshop exercise.
Yeah. I mean, it isn't on the Google Street View when I checked.
All right, similar to this one, I think this is a pretty straightforward proposal. Anyone have concerns other than Steve's just confirming that there's not an intention to remove the mosaic? If not, I'll make the motion. Planning board approves the sign plans by strata subject to the following conditions. So given that there's nobody here but us, the conditions are as written in the staff report and the same as what we just had on the prior case. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Steve. Roll call vote. Steve,
Aye.
Tommy,
Aye.
Andrea,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Blair,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. It's 2 out of 3, and then the last one. 1758 Brookline Ave.
No, what?
Well, the last one is 1661 Beacon Street.
Oh, sorry. What is the,
It
oh, sorry.
says 1750.
The file, the downloadable
Yeah.
file is a different
Oh.
address.
The previous notes that I write.
Okay, so 1661 Beacon Street.
Yeah, so the applicant is proposing to install a new 1-inch tall blue sign band that will replace the current black raceway and replace the Brookline Bank sign with a similarly sized Beacon Bank sign. The sign band will go over the top of both facade windows and the lettering will only be on the front door. The cabinet over the front, yeah, that's it. I don't think this one is internally illuminated like the previous ones were, but they're replacing the raceway that currently exists with a thicker blue one and putting white lettering over top it.
No, you're good.
Is she looking for owner or?
I'm gonna take a quick peek on Street View because I want to understand
Is that me?
the blue band relative to what's there now.
And could you share your screen?
Yeah.
And is 1661 the correct address?
It's
Yeah, it's
brown.
correct on the title block. It's just the file name has a different file name.
I remember this sign. When it was originally approved.
Who's that?
Yeah,
I'm trying to understand what they're doing. They're replacing the Brookline Bank racetrack with Beacon Bank, but then on the right side, what are they doing?
Looks like they're just putting a blue sign band all the way across that front kind of metal separation there.
And then getting rid of the bottom.
Yeah, here, stop sharing now.
But that sign band is bigger than the band that runs across the storefront now. Is that right?
Well, they call it out as 1'6" as a cabinet. But on the elevation, didn't it say 12 inches? Yeah, so it's 1'6" at the cabinet and it's 1 foot at the sign band. So the sign band, the 1 foot must be the height of that existing horizontal member, but they
Yeah.
need it to be taller where there's a sign, which makes sense because the street view side, the lettering that's there today, and go back to the street view, is taller than the sign band. So if they're replacing like for like, that window go.
Wouldn't it look weird to have the one sign larger than the colored band on the next, yeah.
Yeah, so
Don't you think they should both be the same?
yeah, that was gonna be my
Yeah.
suggestion. You make a 1 foot tall band across the whole thing and allow the top and bottom of the letters to extend,
Yeah,
or at least the top. Looks like what they did is they aligned the bottom, but the top could break the top of the band.
I like that.
So are these letters on the Beacon Bank mounted on top of the sign band? What's the actual?
Let's go back to that, sorry.
I think they're both 1'6".
Or is it
aren't
a
they?
Yeah,
cabinet?
it says,
Isn't it a-
according to the plans, they're both 1'6" high, the blue band and the part that has the lettering on it.
But that would make the band that's to the right larger than the architectural element behind it. Is that okay with us because of the rest of the building?
They have, their drawings don't match, right? This is 1'0". This is not dimensioned until you get to this sheet and it's 1'6".
I think they need to be the same if they want to have this.
I think what they're doing is they're putting a blue panel
Yep.
on top of the brown background there.
Yep. I think you're right, Mark. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
so
so they
this-
make it 1'6". All right, so their elevation is saying 1 foot, but their details are saying 1'6" and
I
1
think
foot.
they're saying the band on the building, not their blue sign band, but where it's being mounted to is 1 foot.
But this says
Right.
a 1'6" cabinet.
This is that blue sign band
Yeah.
on the right.
Do we care?
I think
If-
they should match, and
Well,
I don't know,
they
how
do
would
match,
they?
but they're bigger than the band that's there now. So does that mean it's going to be a little pocket of stuff, where this
Bird's
cabinet
nest.
extends into the transom and there's like, it's going to get full of
Yeah.
junk?
Yeah,
I
Leaves.
there's an end view.
Or maybe it comes down below
Yeah.
the existing band.
Yeah, it looks like based on the drawing they have it extending above, but it would make more sense to hang down. So yeah, you don't create just like the perfect place for every bird in Brookline to build a nest.
Oh, they need the space though, Tommy.
Look, the birds.
Yeah, absolutely.
yes. I mean, they show an end view, but in to the point you're all making, if you were to cut a section through this, if they align the top of the band with the top of the existing horizontal member, then the bottom of the band has to be sitting below it, which means the back of the bottom needs to be finished because you'll view it from inside the bank.
Mm.
So their detail is a generic detail, which is fine, but they really need to
Think about it.
think about how they're going to execute that. No, we don't care from the public standpoint, but their client will from the guest experience to see the back of a unfinished thing is not going to be.
So they could shrink it.
They'll paint it probably.
Right. They
Or
could
sure-
shrink it and let the letters extend like they do today above the top of the band.
I think
Or
that
they
would
can
look better.
put the
These are
bigger
only
band
like-
on it and just finish the bottom back.
These are like half-inch letters. I don't know how they look kind of flimsy, unlike the Brookline Bank, which are, they're three-dimensional solid letters in the current situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are what we
I
used to
think they
call
just
push
scale it
through,
down.
but they don't push them through anymore. They just mount them so they look like they're sticking out.
But this is illuminated, so
Mhm.
Maybe this is one that they need to come back because I don't think that, I
Yeah,
think there's been
I'm-
a couple of important, questions that Matt raised and doesn't look like, we have enough information yet
Yeah.
in terms of what they want to do.
Yeah, I think there are a couple different directions they could go. Which one do they want to go with? And then we'll approve that.
yeah.
The questions for Polly and Cameron would you rather finish the back face of the bottom of the sign and let it hang down into the glazing? We'd like you to not create a pocket at the top, right? So it needs to extend down, or do you want to shrink the overall height to match what the existing architectural band is, and then allow the letters to stick up, which to Steve's point would be a different kind of letter. You can't do a push-through letter that sticks up.
Okay.
It'd have to be a three-dimensional letter that's done differently.
So that's 3 options, right?
Yeah,
So do we?
but they have
want-
options.
Do we want to approve all of those 3 options and then Polly gets to approve what they actually come back with? Or do we want to see this whole thing?
I'm good either way.
I'm good either way.
Yeah,
I'm good either
likewise.
way.
All right.
One
so
of the
let's-
things I can do is I can show it maybe to Matt.
Sure. Just to make sure it's
Mhm.
it's one of the 3, because we didn't necessarily articulate them perfectly, but all right, so let's do that. Let's make an approval with a final step as usual. Okay. Where is this one? Planning board approves the sign plans by Stratus subject to the following conditions. Prior to issuance of building permit, the applicant shall submit final plans for the facade signage indicating all dimensions, letter heights, context of sign on wall panel materials, subject to review An approval of the Director for Regulatory Planning, incorporating either of the three options identified during the planning board's meeting on February 11th. And condition 2, lighting shall be controlled by a rheostat and limited to operating hours. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Steve. Roll call vote. Steve?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
Blair?
Aye.
Tommy?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. All right,
So
administrative approval it is.
good. So before we sign off, as Blair mentioned at the beginning, there's a subcommittee of the Housing Advisory Board that's meeting at 11 this morning to sort of talk about an update to this strategy that we're talking about to encourage more moderate size and moderate cost, but market units, and which could potentially be something that is just a change to the Housing Advisory Board's regulations and standards, which would only need approval by the planning board. The possibility it might need to go to town meeting or go to town meeting in the form of a resolution supporting what we're talking about. We presented this to you briefly before. I know Andrea, among others, had questions about what the heck we were trying to do. So if anybody has time to join us at 11, looks like there's no background material posted to the meeting notice, but some of the original language that we were talking about, Kara Bruton has really bought into this idea. She kind of rewrote some of the language, and then Roger Blood, chair of the HAB, has taken it further, and I think we're getting somewhere. But anybody that has the time is welcome to sit in. We're not done yet, but
And we need to get this done before the warrant closes, in the event that we need to actually file something, whether it's a resolution or whether it's a change. So time is running out.
Who makes that determination that a resolution is needed?
I think it's the town attorney,
No, it's not the town attorney.
not Jonathan Simpson.
well, I mean, first, let's see whether
You have to come up with language.
personally, I know Blair thinks we ought to show this to town meeting, even in the form of a resolution. I don't necessarily agree. But we'll see what other members of our subcommittee think, and then what the full Housing Advisory Board thinks, and then what the planning board thinks when we get it there.
Yeah.
All right. So this needs to be this. I just wanted to emphasize, I think it's important that this is scheduled. This has been well over a year, and it's really time to say yay or nay to this. So I hope that
Well,
we
I
can
mean, the
move
details,
expeditiously.
the devil's in the details, and the details have to be worked out. And I think that's one of the reasons that the HAB subcommittee is meeting at 11. So, you should join if you're interested in that. The other thing is that the HAB is also meeting at 12:30 today to discuss ADUs. Am I wrong about that, Steve?
Nope, that's right. Yeah, 12:30 to 2 today. The ADU subcommittee, we're going back in after the meeting we had in the planning board to kind of talk about some revisions to the proposed warrant article.
So that's the ADU subcommittee, not the
Yep.
full HAB. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
just the ADU subcommittee.
And then next week, we have two planning board meetings. One in the morning of the 18th, we're going to hear about the proposed possible warrant article for 26 Pleasant Street, which is for a residential building of 103 units. And then if there are any updates to any of the other zoning warrant articles, we'll hear about those as well. And we're also going to hear an update on the comp plan from Jay Collins. And then on the 19th.
That's gonna be long.
Well, he claims that he's only needs 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I don't know that would be so.
Just something it's a public hearing next Wednesday, and that is a controversial proposal, that warrant article for
Wait a
26.
second, no, it is not a public hearing. It is a public meeting, because before a zoning amendment is submitted to the warrant, we can have a public meeting. Once it's submitted, any meeting has to be in the evening, and it has to be a public hearing.
Okay,
So
so
that
if members
means-
of the public join a meeting, are they able to ask to speak, or would we, in the interest of time, I don't know that we will have time to take that, so.
Well, it's really up to the planning board, but typically the planning board will let people speak. But keep in mind that this is really just to familiarize the planning board with the 26 Pleasant Street proposal, and then you will be having your public hearings where everybody can speak. And then on the evening of the 19th, you'll have just a regular planning board meeting for different Board of Appeals cases.
So I'll send an email, but I'll be out of town on the 19th.
On the 19th, okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
I
Be
am.
there.
So I'm also supposed to be out of town. I don't want to miss that Wednesday morning meeting, especially though. So I'll need to check my schedule for, because it's the kids' winter break. So
Well, I will also be out of town, but I will hopefully have Wi-Fi and will join by computer from New Hampshire.
Yeah, those are the pros and cons of Zoom meetings.
No,
Yep.
those are the pros and cons for when we close the warrant. If the warrant was closed, early in March, this would not be such a pileup.
Right, it's February 25th is the deadline,
I
so.
know that. Well, I don't know why that's so. When the actual town meeting is in May, why the hell does it have to be
The
closed?
select board sets it, so.
I know.
Can I ask a question? What happened to Becca? Wasn't she back?
Becca went.
Oh, she went
job in
to
Cambridge.
across the river. That's right.
Yes, and we have been communicating with her and she's pleased with her job in Cambridge.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you
Okay.
very much, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Right.
Thank
See
you.
some of you later.
Yep. I'll try to listen, Steve.
Okay, thanks, Andrea.
Bye.